This is Chris Yandek joining us today. This is the end of 2010, and before the end of 2010, we had to get one last person in here. In a first for CYInterview.com in 2008, she made the top 10 list. In 2009, she was an honorable mention. Jay Bildstein is here along with me to talk about the top 10 interviews of the year, singing sensation Shontelle. Jay, how are you? Shontelle, how are you?
Doing great. Glad to be here with you, Chris, and certainly glad to be here with Shontelle.
And I'm fantastic, and it's always good to talk to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So, to start the year, Jay, I mean, before we get into everything, Jay's here on a daily basis with CYInterview.com. What did you think about the top 10 before we get into the list?
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, I think much to your credit, we've had incredible scope. Going from a veteran Hollywood movie actor who played in The Godfather and was with Marlon Brando there, to somebody who made tabloid headlines this year and in one of the year's kind of sadder stories. So we've had everything. To quote that old Clint Eastwood movie, 2010 was a year for CY Interview of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I'd say especially the good.
Well, there you go with that. So to start off with that, here we are, Jay, in 2010, and, sexuality was a big story. So this year's honorable mention was none other than probably the most famous man to ever be in adult entertainment, Ron Jeremy. With that being said, but, Shontelle, he was, he's been in acting, and what most people don't know about Ron Jeremy, and we talked about this, he's got a graduate degree, and he taught kids in special education. He was a teacher before he was in the world of adult entertainment. I mean, he's a very bright guy.
Yeah, I've actually heard that, and it seems that a lot of the people in that industry actually are quite educated and quite intelligent people, and then they just make whatever choices for whatever reason. But I guess there is that stigma, or a sort of taboo about it, where people really think that the only people who end up in those sorts of fields, maybe aren't very smart, or they don't have much of an upbringing or whatever. But you would be surprised.
Yeah, you know what, Shontelle?
Pretty impressive.
I'd be curious from a kind of woman's perspective, a young woman's perspective. If you knew a film was going to be a mainstream film, but it was going to have in it somebody who had kind of come up doing adult movies, do you think it would make you think one way or another about that film? Do you think it would stigmatize your opinion about that film if an adult movie actor was in it?
I think there have actually been quite a few films where they had adult movie actors and them playing regular roles, and I think people go and watch them because they're curious to see if this person is going to do. I don't think they've ever been huge, major A-list movies or whatever, but I don't know. I guess there are different factors that influence whether I want to watch a movie, and I don't know if the movie having an adult film star would really make a difference to me. I more would pay attention to the entire cast and the storyline and things like that. So just watch the trailer and see if it appeals to me.
Good movie, people in it. Yeah, that's important, but it doesn't really make a difference what their background is. If you get a feeling that a movie's worth watching, you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And pretty much.
I
tend to not get caught up in the personal, the personal aspect of, any actors or whatever. I just want to see you do a good job.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well said. And as 2010 has turned out, I think we learn and more that probably what separates people who are in adult films from everybody else is maybe that their business is out there in public. But at the end of the day, we're all people.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we're all people.
Yeah, we're still people, and what you do with your private parts really doesn't affect. It really shouldn't have anything to do with your ability to act or do anything else, for that matter.
Or for example, in 2010, serve in the military of the United States under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was repealed. So, I couldn't agree more completely. Chris, who do we have? On the top 10 list, Ron Jeremy was the honorable mention, but who came in at number 10?
Michelle Bombshell McGee actually did again 2010 for the sadder stories was a year of mistresses. Sandra Bullock's mistress with her husband Jesse James, she came through. We asked her, there were stories out there about her, possibly being a white supremacist. She said she's not a white supremacist. She said she was not from an Amish family on top of it. And, it was just one of those stories where, she says, I don't do adult movies. I want to get out of stripping. Don't get tattoos. You'll regret all the tattoos. Her whole body is tattooed. And, it was kind of
That's
a take.
what my mom told me.
And,
I have 3 tattoos and I want more. My mom thinks she really thinks I'm going to regret them someday.
If you'd like to read or listen to this entire insightful interview, click the link below this video or head over to www.cyinterview.com. Again, that's the letters CY, the word interview.com. This is Chris Yandek. Thanks for listening.